thank you, ObserveNow, for this opportunity to talk about digital interventions. And I guess all of us have been through those stages in the last 20 years where waves after waves of digital transformation has happened. With it, I think what it entails is how do we govern? How do we ensure that the digital transformations that we have been undertaking in the last few years, they reach the intended citizen, intended beneficiary? The governance of it, I think, is one of the most important aspects. Also, now that we live in an interconnected world, all thanks to various digital transformations, it is also reshaping the way the governments are operating. You know, how they are interacting with the citizens and how they are ensuring the services that are delivered are happening in the most efficient manner. Empowering citizen, data-driven policy making, and the implications of those policies to the citizens. How do we govern that? So I guess now with the next wave of digital transformation that is already underway, with the advent of new technologies, new digital technologies like blockchain, AI, and there has been a lot of buzz around it. How do we ring fence it? How do we ensure that the other principles that surround AI and blockchain like data privacy, information security, those are governed, those are taken care of? So without much ado, I think I'll start with Mr. Gaurav Joshi, sir. Sir, you've been working in the Ministry of Heavy Industries for such a long time. In your experience last few years and how the technology landscape has been changing, especially after the onset of COVID, when almost everything went digital, how do you see this transition that is currently ongoing? Where does it end? Or does it really end? Or does it become the starting point for the next wave of digital transformations? Also, the new technologies, AI, yourself being from the government sector, one of the biggest ministries, how do you think that is going to change? The ministry is going to operate, its interactions with the citizens, the beneficiaries, and of course the industries. So any thoughts on that, sir? Initial thoughts?
I think what you mentioned is absolutely right point. This is just the starting. Every day when you see the new technologies are coming, we see that whatever we did in the past is changing. It's like cybersecurity. Every time a hacker comes with a new idea, and the same happens with the government portals also. Because citizen centricity as well as the new ideas are coming. So for example, MHI has multiple schemes. One of them is the electric mobility scheme for promotion of electric vehicles. And it is a consumer based, means you have to pay subsidy. So many, it means in past we have heard that subsidy comes once you buy, after 2-3 months it comes back. But in electric vehicles, you get it upfront. So sometimes people feel it whether it's coming or I'm not getting subsidy. So the change that is coming day by day, the consumer knows that we need not to wait now. Nobody wants to go in the government offices and wait for the details, wait for the different desks and etc. Now it is all technology based. The desks will connect with each other using the technology, and as long as these portals are coming up, we see that earlier we were having standalone portal for MHI one scheme. Then we realized no, this is not sufficient. Now we need to connect with Moth portal to see the Vahan data, what's happening, what is sold, whether it's rightfully sold or it is just a fake. So a lot of compliances as well as vulnerabilities what observed, they are adding value day by day, and that is increasing the importance of having a digital data in right format as well as using it in right way, and there AI is helping. Because we have just started, but I think there is a long way to go. We believe that whatever task our mind does or whatever task our mind is not able to do because of the lack of time, AI will give us the results. Of course, I'm not talking about the ethical and implication, etc. Let's let experts do that. Let's focus on what can be done that we are not doing right now. So we believe that it is going up and up. And the same in the manufacturing sector for Industry 4.0. So there are multiple ways in which we see that this is a starting point. We have to cover much more and more.
To that effect, I think when it comes to augmentation of the capabilities, especially of the ministries and the departments operating, I think there has been a renewed focus on how you collaborate with the subject matter experts, academic institutions. And I guess you have been instrumental in setting up a COE with IIT Roorkee, especially with regards to adoption of IoTs. How do you see that shaping up, panning out in the next few years? And where do we go from there? Because setting up of infrastructure, although that's been of the primary concern, sustenance of such ecosystems, maintenance, ensuring those are in the good health. I mean, that's been one of the major concerns in the last few years. How are you leveraging the expertise of IT Roorkee? And going ahead, how do you ensure that such systems are sustained over a period of time?
See, IITs are our flagships institutes, and we want them to do what we do not have in India. So we see that IIT Madras or IISc Bangalore, or whether it's in Pune, there are other center of excellences that we have. The idea is that when we say Industry 4.0, we need to, when we say Internet of Things, now the every day the time is changing. And we see that our manufacturing, if it doesn't go along with it over the period, we will be in obsolescence. Means we have to change with time. The idea is that if we use the scientists and if we use their expertise so well that our industry gets the solution, and that is the main understanding of this center of excellences. We see that now industry has to adopt it, but at the moment, what industry person or a investor feels is that what ROI I am going to get it. So people try to create now what use cases, and then there are also themes are created. If somebody wants to use it, what kind of way he can project it so that his future is secured. At the same time, the compliance or the ROI or NAV, NPV, etc. is also calculated. So, and we see that our component manufacturing system also needs to go up. Means these sensors which are not produced in India, and if we make these sensors on our own, the cost will drastically come down. Because if we keep on waiting on imports, or if we keep our reliance on import, we will not be able to give a best solution what our industry needs. It may be good for other countries because it suits their demand, it suits their pricing pattern, but for a country like India, we need to have our own reliance on our own technology where we can support, and it needs to scale up. So government supports come in the starting phase, their industry is not able to do it, but over the period, once it becomes capable, industry can do it on its own. So that is the idea.
And those forward and backward linkages, I think the ministry is helping. How the ministry reaches out to the industry, how it gains from the technical expertise that the ministry has to offer. Of course, in a way that everything is ring-fenced. Yeah. From India to Delhi, we have with us Mr. Santulan Chaubey. Sir, with regards to Delhi, and we're all residents here, not Delhi NCR. Everybody almost every day experiences the kind of digital transformation initiatives that you would have taken. A lot of focus in the last few years has been to decrease the reliance, like Mr. Joshi said, on the private sector, solely on the private sector, and enhancing the in-house capabilities of the departments. How have you been, what kind of measures have you taken in the last few years on enhancing the capabilities of Government of Entity of Delhi? And what are the different new tech initiatives with regards to possibly advanced analytics or AI that you feel are going to serve us in the next few years to come?
First of all, thank you very much me basically inviting here and listening to me. See, you are the citizen either passing through Delhi or in Delhi. He rightly said that, do you experience digital transformation taking place? Number one. If you are experiencing it is taking place, then how we can take it to the next stage? If you are not experiencing that digital transformation has been taking place in Delhi, then we have to think something what is left in our capacity building. Rightly, he said that, yes, government is lots of data, but the capacity to analyze the data, the trained manpower, the government budgets are always constrained to go to the next level, where the terms AI and machine learning come in focus. Lots of things we are doing, no doubt about it, and you may be feeling in terms of the response time in your public service delivery, which is the main work of the government. So we have got around 450 services which are already online, which you can avail, and they are supported by RTS, right to service, time-bound service, that you have to deliver that service in that particular time. If you are not able to deliver, there is a penalty provision also. kindly see that people don't use that provision that if the government is not able to serve the people in the given time, there is a penalty provision. Coming to the next, since the capacity is less, we have to go for technology support. Right? I am from IT department, so that is the prime job to augment the capacity building. So one thing is data. How do we analyze data? Number two, how to fulfill the gap of the trained manpower. We don't have trained manpower for doing our technology support to the public services. So, for example, what we are doing right now for transport and for traffic challans, we are trying to put as much as cameras to start learning through the camera and do automation of challans and automation of the signals. You know, these two things are very, very important that the rate the government vehicles are increasing in Delhi. It is very overarching that we have a system where automation takes place. Automation, whenever we talk about automation, we talk about how the end-to-end process takes place. अगर हम बीच में कर देंगे छोड़ देंगे then there is again as if we are not done anything. So when any challan breach is there, any violation take place, that should automatically come. So we are just under the process of having the bits where we have defined our scope of work that any violation, traffic violation should be reported automatically on AI, and automatically that challan should be generated and given to the concerned person who is violating the thing. Second comes the threat. Threat is that privacy, like he rightly said, what to do with the privacy. There's a trade-off between privacy and technological advancement. We put cameras all over the city, yes, you are captured. Your movement is captured, right? There is a trade-off that how much strictness we have in data reusability. So DPDP 2023 is here. So taking these challenges and these constraints what we have to move forward. So one was that AI thing what I was telling about the traffic, and second what we are doing in the supply chain management. Supply chain management is integral part of government services. If we are not able to properly leverage the ration cards, we are not having the supply of water, we are not having supply of goods and grains, these things will not work. So to ensure minimum pilferage and maximum availability to the public, again, same automation, same weighing machine, automated weighing machine, and a machine learning process where I know what is the next volume I want to get it. Right? So these things basically which we are doing it. But important thing what Gaurav also told that security is very apex concern, and since time is scarcity, I tell you that business processing re-engineering is apex. I'm not telling that AI or blockchain or apne IoT laga diya kaam ho gaya. What processes you can change in the government to ensure that the entire process is cut and matching the technology. There's many processes in the technology which you can cut. This is basically what is required, and this is what we are doing it. And I think this answers what I was asking, sir.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
and in fact, in addition to that, I think there have been a lot of initiatives taken by you in terms of Delhi being the administrative capital.
Yeah.
It comes with its own set of challenges, and a lot of money is required for carrying out these digital initiatives,
Yeah.
also social benefit initiatives. Any instances of technology adoption in terms of revenue augmentation that the Delhi government would have taken up? And
Yeah.
going ahead, how you plan to take it forward?
Wonderful. This is a very right question, right time asked. The business model should be sustainable. It should be motivational to the government as well as to the person, agency they are working. So this should be win-win situation. This is not that vendor and supplier relationship is there. This is partnership relationship, number one. So what projects we are doing right now, it is on sharing the money revenue, basically. Whatever it is, challenge, or it is supply chain management, instead of putting upfront money to the project, it is a motivational thing that for each supply, for challan, a certain percentage will be given to the supplier. Suppose एक दिन में 3 लाख चालान करते हैं और उसकी वैल्यू होती है suppose 1 करोड़ रुपए, तो 1 करोड़ का एक certain percentage is for the vendor, and that that partner basically, and that partner will keep on going it forever till the agreement validity. Otherwise, what will happen, that is some losses, government में change हो गया, payment नहीं हो रहा है उसका. So if that is self-sustainable model, so what we are trying to create it, use technology, but it should be on the self-sustainable model. It should ensure that there is a continuous revenue for the person who is doing this work, and there's continuous upgradation of the technology also. To ensure that that flow is maintained forever. That is basically the idea.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
You spoke about business process reengineering. So let me come to Srikanth, sir. Sir, while technology keeps changing and has been evolving at a rapid pace, what's equally important, I think, is to bring some focus to the soft element of technology adoption, how the change management happens, because technology is only as good as people that are using it or that are adopting it. So you have spearheaded a lot of programs like Bridge. Also you have been you have collaborated with Infosys Foundation for training the young generation. Sir, how do you see the soft element of technology helping in spurting the adoption? Also, apart from that, yourself having at the forefront of a lot of technology initiatives in the state of Tamil Nadu. I think on the trajectory, Tamil Nadu is far ahead when you compare it to a lot of other states. Where do you go from there? I mean, when does the next leap, if I may say leap of faith in terms of technology, because that I guess is one of the key component with technologies like AI, blockchain. How does that come into picture, and how do you plan to manage it, govern it, to ensure that while the pace at which the technology transformations have been happening in Tamil Nadu, that's sustained, but also prepare the state for the next leaps?
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks to ObserveNow for inviting, and thanks to all the panel members to be here. See, ICT Academy is formed by Government of Tamil Nadu and Government of India. Just to give you a background, most of the people on the dais, I am working with them in some form or other. Whether I am working with MHI, we are also working with the New Delhi government, we are also working with STPI. We work with some, if you see our website, sctacademy.in, you name any IT company are working with us in some form or other. You name any product companies worldwide, Autodesk, Salesforce, UiPath, they are working with us. We are at PPP, formed by Government of Tamil Nadu. Now we are pan-India organization. We are the only organization in India, 15 years we have completed as a PPP, sustainable on our own without government funds. Okay, this is what a government wants to do, sustainable. Whatever these gentlemen are telling, the adoption of new technologies, we are ensuring that equal number of students are getting ready for that to absorb the technology to work in the workforce. That's been our major motto. 16.9 million students have been trained in our 15 years of a journey, reaching 25 million by 2030. Well recognized by Niti Aayog, from Ladakh to Arunachal Pradesh to Kanyakumari, across the borders, 80% of India districts we are covering. Okay, this is the background of the company. Second point, he was talking about just one particular point, moderator was talking about Infosys Foundation. Not only Infosys Foundation, HCL, Capgemini, Honeywell, name any company, are been working with us in a large sector, close to 1.5 lakh to 2 lakh students. We have been skilling them on emerging technologies, which each and every individual is talking here. Make them ready. 60 to 70% of the people are getting into the job market, as high as 48 lakhs per annum, given by PayPal. This is a testimony. Second point is that the Industry Institute interaction was mentioning about the bridge, the event. We call industry and academia together in the forum, give them the rudiments, what industry wants, what you want, get them matched, get it done, and they absorb it and take it forward. Just clear examples that we are part of IIT Research Park community, a government organization situated in IIT Madras. That's one rarity. Second, I was just telling the Deputy Secretary here, MHI, we're already working with the AMTTDC, Advanced Manufacturing Technology Development Center, sponsored by MHI. I'm working with the team under smart manufacturing. We are working with some 16 to 17 domains. The people behind us, we have 4 IAS officers and 4 from the industry. It's a very unique combination of the company we are situated. Second, whatever the e-governance initiatives he was asking about in the state of Tamil Nadu, one big intervention we did on the PMG Disha program of the Prime Minister's flagship program under MeitY. Crores of people have been certified digitally literate through our program, which we are also doing. HKC, a lot of companies are doing. That's the biggest intervention program we did. Second, the program we did on the 𝐸-Sevai, where people are talking about the people go to centers and get the services done. We are going to the version 2, where the 𝐸-Sevai operators got trained on the new rudiment technologies facing the public, because we are talking the new gen of people are coming now. Just to face them, so we did a big massive program. That's the third. Third program which we did a massive program was the project-based learning. Today, you name it, that companies or the corporates or the students or the colleges are looking for a challenge-based learning or the project-based learning. If any of the departments are giving us a challenge to us, we knock the doors of the student, asking them to work on the challenge, bring out a solution, then we give back to the industry. So this is the other intervention we are doing. So these are the few interventions we are doing, and we are also trying to learn, adopt from other states also, nothing wrong. Second is that, incidentally, that we are getting our Scotch Award tomorrow at Delhi for our initiative. This is an initiative done by Honeywell. Honeywell and ICT did a big initiative. Further, they are recognizing us. Other initiatives which Scotch Award is given for the government place program. This is a very clear public-private program tomorrow. The first time we are getting it tomorrow. Second point, the final point is that we started in Tamil Nadu. We grew all India. Incidentally, we are knocking international. A PPP company formed by government of Tamil Nadu is knocking globally. We are getting into Malaysia. Shortly by next month, we are going to Malaysia, and we are also going to other countries. This is what then a PPP can play a role. A PPP can go ahead only because of that. I was just telling about the story. Final point is that I was telling about our director, jointer from STPI. The India BPO scheme or the fintech scheme of the STPI, we played a very major role. So the thing is that we are acting as a lighthouse. If there is a solution, something to be done through MHI or through STPI or through Delhi NCT government or by industry, we capture everything and spread it accordingly. This is what we are doing. Thank you.
So sir, we spoke about government-to-government collaborations. You also spoke about public-private partnerships. Very briefly, for the benefit of everyone sitting here, how do you think, what has been the major measures that have been taken that you found to be very effective and encouraging for the industry to actually get into a PPP mode? Because that's been ongoing for almost 2 decades now. It has picked up in last 5 years, really picked up in the last 5 years. We are also talking about ham model and things of that nature. How do you ensure that the industry is also receptive towards what the state wants, whether in terms of investment promotions or in terms of service delivery?
It's very clear. It's a transparency and the independency and the accountability and the impact. These are 4 words, which we are very much there. We received a 3 crore grant, the 6 crore grant in the 2008 to form this institution as an industry academia venture, asking us to do a project only for 3 years. After 3 years, we are supposed to wind up the organization. 2011, we found a model that this can be sustained. The entire government machinery got surprised. Without getting any grant, without taking any salary grant, nothing. Okay, we have been managing 260 people member team. Somebody is wearing Tamil Nadu government tag. It's unbelievable because Tamil Nadu is having a tag and working in Ladakh. He's a Jammu domicile guy. If somebody is in Assam, he's wearing the government of Tamil Nadu tag and working in Assam, in Meghalaya border. This is the uniqueness. This is the power of a PPP. A PPP can take you globally anywhere. But the only point is the transparency, accountability, and the impact, and what you are envisaged has to be achieved. That's the simplest form. Any PPP can be successful because 15 years of journey, we can write books on it. TIS has called us yesterday. They are writing a book on us. Okay, this is a very unique model. We absorb everything and we give it back. So the only thing is that we are not a failed mission. We continue to grow on that. And whatever we're talking about the quantum computing, we talk about any new technology, we immediately find a partner and absorb it, knock it to the education community, knock it with an industry, knock it with the government, and see how all three stakeholders can be safely, securely can take in this. That's the model. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And you spoke about your organization being, self-sustainable and how it has evolved over a period of time. We have with us Mr. Pratik Mohapatra. He works with STPI. We've all been hearing about STPI. STPI has been at the forefront of setting up a lot of infrastructure with regards to, on which the digital transformation waves have literally, they have read on. So I think one of the initiatives that you have taken off late is Electropreneur. Electropreneur is something that's been making a lot of waves of late. How do you think in a new sector, because software you have championed it in the last 2 decades or so. How does such an initiative start? I mean, what are the key considerations that you'd like to take into account when you start such an initiative? That's one. While ensuring that it fosters innovation as it goes. Also, how do you keep evolving, so that you're not taken by surprise with the new waves of digital transformations that have been happening, so that you always are ready to hit the ground running in case such a thing happens. You've been also at the forefront of encouraging and enhancing startup ecosystem in India. How do you think that is helping this partnership between yourself and the startups, especially with regards to areas like supply chain management? So your initial thoughts on that.
Thank you very much, Abhishek. Thank you, ObserveNow, for inviting me here. I would start off with the first question that you just asked. That is, what are the key considerations while planning an initiative like Electropreneur Park? So Electropreneur Park STPI is very proud to say that it was one of the flagship schemes under the aegis of Ministry of Electronics and IT, which STPI also ventured in. And we saw the potential because of the export reliance on electronic products that Indians had. And in order to reduce that and to be self-sufficient, sorry, I mistook, it's not the import reliance of electronic products. So rather than to become consumers of electronic products, we wanted to be suppliers of electronic products for the other countries across. Because yes, as you rightly said that we have championed the software sector, but as far as the electronic sector goes, we are hovering somewhere around $11.5 to $12 billion of electronic exports as on 2023. Now, in order to tackle that challenge, Electropreneur Park was established, wherein we had under the Office of the Principal Scientific Advisor, we had envisioned a plan to bring in 50 startups over a course of 5 years, who shall be working on some specific technologies in the ESDM domain, Electronic System Design and Manufacturing, to bring out these cutting-edge solutions that shall replace at least some iota, not replace actually, but will at least start off the tectonic shift that we are looking for to increase the import reliance, increase the import reliance from India. As far as that is concerned, when we see the startup ecosystem, how Electropreneur Park has evolved over the course of 5 years, we see around 53 startups now who have successfully completed their tenure there, with over 360 direct and indirect employment that has been generated from there. Over 100 products and prototypes have been generated by the startups that are working in there. So that movement has now steamrolled and has also given STPI the confidence to open new centers of entrepreneurships like Electropreneur Park in Bhubaneswar. Now there are 24 centers of entrepreneurship that STPI is having across several technology domains. Our panelists spoke about industry efficiency augmentation, Industry 4.0. So STPI has 2 premium Industry 4.0 centers of entrepreneurship, one in Visakhapatnam and one is in Bangalore. So the intent is that with the open challenge programs and the idea challenge programs that STPI does to shortlist these startups is to understand the need and the gap that we are currently experiencing in the technology domains. So one such is that when we are talking of supply chain, for example, so before a product or a service reaches the end user, it touches a lot of value chain, right? Which has a lot of stakeholders there. What has been observed traditionally that however redundancies would be, the stakeholders have been using redundancies to their positive effect. But somehow, since the data that is available to them in silos. And while we want to access the real-time information, while dealing with predictive analysis, while dealing with traceability and vulnerabilities in the supply chain, it is important and also to understand that we cannot repudiate the importance of a permissioned blockchain that shall be critical in reducing the supply chain issues that we are facing at this point of time. So that is STPI's focus. It's just not running cohorts after cohorts and onboarding startups just to increase your numbers. So the focused initiative is to ensure that the startups who are coming in, they're coming in with a particular objective. Therefore, STPI has been pivotal in running open challenge. It has been pivotal for STPI to run these challenge programs in collaboration with government bodies, in collaboration with other state government and central public sector enterprises, state public sector enterprises. Like one is in, as I spoke about, Industry 4.0. It is with Rashtriya Ispat Nigam Limited in Vizag. So the idea is to have a very focused approach as far as this is concerned, and to have those startups who are really contributing at the end of the channel, and to ensure inclusivity in terms of the technological awareness of not just people who are working with emerging technologies, but also for the businesses who are averse to technology inclusivity, right? In that way.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And we spoke about the last mile delivery. How do you ensure that? Because most of what we see in terms of benefit delivery, also in terms of creating that infrastructure, is there a siloed approach that's followed there as well, or are we taking any special initiatives, special measures to ensure that there is a service equity in terms of how it reaches to the intended beneficiaries, regardless of where they come from, regardless of demographies, regardless of geographies? I mean, how do you plan to reach to the last person in possibly a very remote area or a far-flung area? Is STPI working towards that as well?
Yes. So we just spoke of the 24 centers of entrepreneurship that STPI has established. One such initiative which hits the bullseye as far as this question is concerned is the Center of Entrepreneurship that has been established in Akola, Maharashtra. So Akola, unfortunately, has been known for its farmer suicides, before 2020. So the Ministry of Electronics and STPI, they took a conscious call, that there has to be an agri-tech COE, wherein emerging technologies will play a crucial role in alleviating the pains that is being suffered by the local farmer there. One such, while creating the budget heads, since we were involved in the creation of each and every tangent that was important for Fasal Akola, that the COE is called Fasal, right? So one such was how to reduce. We said that, okay, the startup is coming in and startup is going to create a product, and that product will be tested in the farm. And at the end of the day, when that was happening, we had seen that how the farmer is actually going to benefit. So we kept a product demo and an insurance aspect for the farmer, that once a startup develops a product, but he has to test it on a farm. That farm doesn't belong to the startup. It belongs to the farmer. So how to, first of all, safeguard the farmer, and how the information can reach them. So the budgets were critical, budgets were actually aligned, the provisions were made so that the farmer will actually understand, and in case there is a mishap, so the insurance is going to cover that. And the government is also going to take care of that, right? That is number one. Number two is that there's a big aspect of the product demo to the farmers. It's not just to white collar people who are sitting in comfortable AC rooms and telling them that, okay, sir, I have got this solution and now, I'm eligible for this much of seed fund. We don't work with that. we say that, okay, if you have created a solution, yes, we are a filtration. There is a filtration from the government. However, the end user, the final node will be from the farmer. So once the farmer is there and he sees the solution up and running and exactly the concerns that he or she has been facing, those concerns are alleviated, then that last mile issue is resolved. And this is into Akola, which is a very far-flung area. So that demonstrates STPI and the government's continuous endeavor in reducing these issues and these vulnerabilities that the end user is facing.
Right. Thank you so much for bringing that out. You spoke about safeguarding the interest. When we talk about safeguarding, I think with the advent of technology and adoption of technology, new tech, sir, we have with us Mr. Suneel Wattal, sir. Sir, when we talk about technology, there has been a lot of concerns around adoption of new tech like AI, blockchain. Also, how do we ensure that the personal identifiable information that usually resides is safeguarded? How the consent is very important with regards to the person for which it is transacted for. What are the different kind of safeguards that you think ought to be in place while designing a system that leverages new tech? That's one, sir. What are the different ethical considerations? Because that has taken a front seat now while we go on this transformational journeys through digital. What are those considerations? And also, to add to that, what are the challenges that you have seen, you have experienced in the last few years? And also going ahead, what do you think that are going to be the primary focus areas in terms of safeguarding the interests of the beneficiaries or the recipient for which such systems are designed, sir?
I think, okay. I think one of the main things is the basic ethical consideration, especially when we're talking about new technologies, is it's concerning your data, it's concerning data security and data privacy. And for that, we need a proper policy framework, we need proper regulations. I think there is a Data Protection Act which is coming into place, but only that doesn't solve the purpose. I think consent is also very important, and also the awareness. One major part which is missing is, and we're talking about e-governance, we're talking about citizen services. So I think citizen awareness is something very important. The citizen needs to be aware, what am I sharing and why am I sharing? Because there are certain things which I need to share which may not impact me and which the government needs to do. And then we have to ensure that the data is secure. Whoever is managing your data is taking care that it is secure. There are no data leaks, there are no hackings tomorrow. In addition to this, one of the ethical considerations is, and this is especially regarding AI, is the basic training data that we're using. I think one needs to be very, very careful about selecting the initial training data. If there is a bias in that training, the whole model gets biased. So the model itself may get biased. So we have to make sure that the initial data that you're using for training the systems is diverse, is not biased, and covers all possible scenarios, for which the model needs to be robust. And that is where technology comes in. The technical people who are developing the models, they have to be robust enough, and this is where skilling is imperative. It's very important that you have the right skills, you have the right models to be built up. And the other part is that when you talk about this, one of the biggest things that ethically that can go wrong is that too much of data can lead to discrimination and profiling. Right. So there have to be regulations in place how that data is being used. Even the government needs to be very careful in how that data is getting used and how it is getting published and how it's getting shared. For example, there may be certain data which should not be shared in public domains, which should not be even shared to departments, or maybe in a masked manner, in a need-to-know basis. Those parameters of what to share, where to share, and when to share, there has to be a robust framework, and that is where policymakers will come into place, and it will increase day by day. We are actually in the nascent stages right now. So I think that should be sufficient.
Well, that's very insightful. In fact, given the paucity of time that we are grappling with, I think we have spoken about the different digital initiatives that have taken place, what the future holds. different considerations that should be taken into account while proposing such systems, and special focus around the data and the privacy. Like they say, we have been talking about data being the new oil. We really don't know what to do with this oil. There's a lot of data residing in silos. How do we make these systems interoperable? How the data flows from one system to the other without any glitches, and the kind of insights that we can possibly draw.
I think what I would just want to add, what is we also have to be sensitive about data collection. What is the data that we're collecting?
Right.
Do we really need that? And how do we collect it? What are the sources? The sources need to be correct.
Right. So a lot of transactional data is what we are using now, rather than having those data collection exercises, enumeration exercises that happen right at the onset. So thank you very much, sir, for throwing light on that. And I think given the paucity of time, we will wind it up here. Yes, over to you.